Tuesday, February 14th, 2012. This is Tier 3, Episode 16. Hey guys, welcome to Tier 3, Episode 16. We never decided on a show title. That was one thing I forgot. I was going to have us decide on a show title, but...
Valentine's Day.
It is Valentine's Day. That's why we're doing a tech podcast tonight. We've got Wyatt here tonight to give us a review of a tablet. We'll get to that in a bit, so stay tuned. That's our teaser for the end. Because you just know. Keep people here. Alright, enough of that audio. 15, episode 15, that's dead. I think I told everybody here already, but the audio, I kind of sort of forgot to record it. See, this computer here is recording our audio, the good stream, and that wasn't on last time, and I never knew anything about it, so I just was like, didn't record any audio. So if you watch the live stream, that was the only way you're going to be able to see it. I think it's still actually on livestream.com, but I'd advise you not to go listen to it. Because the audio is, which is really sad because we had some really good content on that one. What did we talk about? It was
question.
It was good stuff. I remember it was a good show.
Stop doing that.
Is that cheer? Yeah, those cheers just.
Cheers are touchy.
Yeah, cheers are touchy. No, that 15 was really good, and it's just gonna die in the dust. I'm not even gonna post it. It's not on the iTunes, but this episode is number 16. So when you go through the list...
14-16.
14-16, that's how it's just going to be.
Yep.
I'm going to keep 15 as a lost episode. Everyone will be asking, that'll be our lost episode. Actually, I think one of the earlier ones is also lost.
Yep. I think it was 9.
I accidentally deleted that off.
He's not doing very well with this, are you?
Yes, sir.
Well, hey, we've got video now, so...
You just don't like the odd numbers.
And they can see we can do screen... Have you watched any... We've got one good show on YouTube. We have 14. One good show.
Well, we had a good show.
That was the one that I went and saw.
14 is the good one.
We had a good show last week, but something happened to it.
Yeah.
The audio, I didn't record it.
A certain somebody.
Hopefully, well, we've definitely got good audio on this one. So if the live stream is crackling a little bit, I apologize. But you can watch the show afterwards. I'll just dub the good audio over it, and it'll all be good. I'm pretty good at lining up mouths with words. Yeah. I just put the audio over the video.
Great job, dude. Great job.
Okay, are we going to talk about stuff?
Yeah, that was our only announcement. We're never getting a show title then. It's TBD. We'll find out later. I don't think we even had one last week. Hacks is starting to become a weekly feature for us. Foxconn was hacked this past week by SwagSec, whatever that is. It's Swag Security. I don't know if that's an actual company or what's going on there, if it's just a group of people.
I think the name is more like Swag Security means...
You have to be close to that mic, by the way.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Okay.
But they hacked... They dumped all of Foxconn's usernames and passwords. Hacker group. It's a break-off of Anonymous, I'll almost guarantee it.
Well, the name kind of makes it sound like it is a hacker group.
You can just say you're an Anonymous and you're an Anonymous.
They probably attacked Swag Security.
But basically, it was internal information at Foxconn's company, mail server login, password dumps, and logins to various other procurement sites, and then their intranet system. So, a lot of stuff going on there in Foxconn. Foxconn just seems to have all kinds of problems between, people jumping off their buildings, them having to string nets in between the buildings to keep people from jumping off, which has worked, by the way, if you've read anything on that. Did you hear anything on that?
Nope.
They had so many suicides at their plant in China because just the working conditions are so bad that they actually strung nets in between the buildings. There's pictures of this online to keep people from jumping off.
Apparently they caught some fish sometime.
And
what?
Caught some jumpers.
Caught some jumpers.
Oh my gosh. And then we were talking about also with Apple people were kind of mad that Apple was using Foxconn and they're talking about the harsh labor and stuff. So, but basically every hardware sort of way. So
Apple
really,
is just trying to
Apple's not at
badmouth
fault.
somebody else.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to go in there, but Foxconn just tends to have all kinds of problems. So, what's next? Google Wallet Pin. Google, we're going to be talking a lot about Android devices today. Google Wallet Pin was cracked. It's basically an application. It's not done remotely, from what I can understand. There's a video of it here that I'll play. It's basically an application on a phone, and the phone, in order for this to work, the phone has to be rooted, it has to be running Android, and then basically if this application is installed on the phone, anyone who gets a hold of that phone can find out the owner's Google PIN application, or number.
Is this for only rooted devices?
Only rooted devices. There's a really simple fix to this. It's do not root your phone, and if you do have your phone rooted, just put a screen lock on it, because then no one can get access to it if you leave it somewhere.
But Google officially washed their hands of the matter by sending out an official statement, which basically said now the banks who they're working with will probably handle the issue
Well, it's
and
basically
find out a more better, secure way. Because the banks are basically providing the pins. You pay the banks, and they give you the prepaid credit kind of thing.
basically just don't. It's like a credit card. Just don't leave it places.
Yeah.
You just. I'm just.
Well, it's
credit card
becoming more and more of an issue because Google Wallet is starting to be used a lot more in the States here. Other countries it's taken off.
And, isn't it required that you need to root your phone to be able to get it in the first place?
No, it depends on your device, but for some devices it's not supported. So then they have roots so you can get it and use it.
Sad.
But other devices it's supported. So.
Let's see if I can.
It'd be nicer if
get
they
this
make
video
it
going.
more universal, I guess.
Well, it depends on the provider, and it depends on the, I guess.
No, that's what I mean. Like, it would be nicer if they made it more universal in that sense. That they didn't have to have, like, a specific provider to get specific apps.
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Let me see if I
It's
can.
not just
pull up
any
this video.
app. It takes hardware. It takes hardware to run. So.
But basic idea is like, what kind of hardware would require just to run one single app like that?
Well, let's take
the screen or something for them.
Well, you have to. I mean, it's not just like taking a picture. It's communicating between the device and the reader so that you can send that information, and then it's not going to be like.
How is it communicating?
It's like and I don't know what it's called. I can't remember that.
Take a look at the video here quick. Google Wallet Cracker is the actual application running.
I'm going to get a chair.
Yeah, NFC.
This is a demonstration of the pin exposure vulnerability in Google Wallet. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you Google Wallet right now. You can see it asks for a pin on startup, and right now it's just odd numbers, so 1, 3, 5, 7. And we're in. Now if we go back, go to this Wallet Cracker app we wrote, and you'll see your Google Wallet pin is 1357. And just to prove what's going on, let's go back and change the pin in Wallet. Asks for the current pin, 1357. And now a new pin, so we'll just do 2468. And again 2468. Took it. And back to the Wallet Cracker app. And we'll just go ahead and refresh it there. 2468. That's it.
So you see how easy that is to manipulate an Android device. Basically, the only solution to this is the really easy solution is just don't leave your phone laying around in odd places for people to pick up and get a hold of your pen. That goes. That's pretty much a general rule for anything, really.
It's not that much of a hack. It's more of like
a security flaw.
Yeah.
I guess it's stored on your phone.
User stupidity.
Yeah.
Just put a screen lock on your phone. How hard is that?
It's not very hard, obviously.
Yeah.
No.
If you're using your phone as a credit card,
then you should.
Then you probably should.
If you don't, it's more or less your fault.
So, this is a big story. You guys heard about the Apple patch ruined Adobe Photoshop. Basically, it was any Apple computer running Snow Leopard still. Apple pushed out a patch to fix some stuff on that, but in doing so, they fixed what they wanted to fix, but in the process, they ruined Adobe Photoshop, Rosetta, Microsoft Office, Excel, PowerPoint, and what else was there? There was a whole bunch of software.
Brilliant.
Basically, Quicken, which is a money program that a lot of people use, all stopped working after Apple released this patch. And
Snow Leopard isn't that old, so I don't understand why.
it's not that old. Lion's new though now.
Lion's
So
the newest, but most Mac computers still run Snow Leopard, so.
which
That's
is
why it's
Apple
such a big
was.
deal.
Well, I don't understand why they wouldn't have tested this before they launched it.
That's exactly like one of the bad points of Apple now coming up.
Well, basically, this is hitting close to home for us because Westside, an Omaha school, uses, every school uses all the Office applications, Adobe Photoshop, but Westside gives Apple computers to all their students, and they were running Snow Leopard. And basically, the night before this patch was put out, the IT group at Westside realized what was happening. They said, hey, we've got school tomorrow. All these kids need to use, all our Microsoft products, Adobe Photoshop for any photography, editing, video editing classes.
They basically thought we shouldn't give the kids any excuse to
miss school. Yeah, we have to get this fixed by tomorrow. Basically, they went in, they found the problem. It ended up being traced into a World of Warcraft. Somehow got involved. I guess there was some code from that. It's really interesting. I guess some of the IT guys over at Westside play World of Warcraft, though, and they end up getting the same errors out of that game that corresponded with some errors, the same errors that some people were posting in online forums, and they managed to find all this stuff out in one night, go in and write up their own patch for this, and fixed what they needed to fix so it was all working, and then they sent it off to Apple and helped Apple push this out, and the Westside's patch went global. That's how this got fixed. You guys all heard Rosetta was the biggest thing in this. That made major headlines. Rosetta, people not being able to translate French into German or something like that. They couldn't. I mean, that's urgent stuff, and they couldn't do it. So it was big news, and Westside IT here in Omaha basically are the people behind who fixed that, because evidently Apple's IT wasn't on the ball and couldn't fix it. So I thought that was a really interesting story. I found that out in one of my classes. We were talking about it. I thought that was interesting.
So was it caused by World of Warcraft, or was it a similar problem?
That's what I'm not really clear on, because this is out of the article here. I'll bring it up on the screen. Is out of the Omaha World Herald. It ran a few days ago. Let me find the.
So written at a third grade reading level.
Yeah, one of the IT guys over at Westside, while scouring an online forum, he saw that one of the affected users had received a certain error message. He searched his own computer's hard drive for the error, and up popped a result from a popular online computer game he plays called World of Warcraft. It involved the same error the Westside computers were getting. It doesn't. That's all it goes into. It doesn't explain how that was involved or how that related to Microsoft Office going down and Photoshop, but evidently some error. It kind of makes it sound like World of Warcraft is installed on every single one of their computers.
It does make it seem like that. And the 20,000 people that it helped, I guess, too.
Yeah, really. World of Warcraft.
So, I mean, maybe that was the reason why Apple didn't test for specific.
Maybe they didn't have anyone playing World of Warcraft to test it out.
Yeah. Apple kids are too.
They need to hire a new position for that.
Yeah, World of Warcraft has her.
So Apple seeks to ban Samsung's Galaxy Nexus, but apparently they're really trying to go after the Android 4.0 operating system. Samsung has sued Apple numerous times over patents, and now Apple is finally firing back. Did I put this article in here?
No, I did.
Oh, well then go for it.
What I'm supposed to... Okay, well basically...
You can lead this into your...
Yeah, you can.
Well, basically, Apple just... Once more patents and wants more. They want to basically ban the Galaxy Nexus, which is one of the only phones running Android 4.0. So I mean, it's come. There's been a lot of recent attacks lately, and I guess it's not specifically from Apple to Google, but it's
almost
the same way it is.
They're kind of going after it. It's got that underlying subtext that they're going.
Yeah, because if they get rid of the only phone that's currently running 4.0, then that's kind of getting rid of.
Is the Nexus the only phone running that right now?
Well, I mean, you can. There's some phones that you can upgrade it to, but that's the only phone that ships with 4.0.
And does 4.0, is that the name of it, or is there?
It's Ice Cream Sandwich.
Is it Ice Cream Sandwich? Okay, that's what I was wondering. And what exactly are they suing Apple for?
Well,
apparently it's something like creating email. Okay, yeah, it's apparently something like taking the phone numbers and creating links to other data related to the phone numbers, like the addresses and the dates. I don't know what accordingly dates means, but some other stuff.
I guess just a few patents are at stake, and I guess it would be a big win for Apple if they actually got it. But I know that Google has recently just come up with Motorola patents. That went through. So
well, and it wasn't all that long ago. Apple won a ruling, I guess back in December. The International Trade Commission banned the importation and sale of HTC Android devices, including the Sprint Evo 4G, Verizon Droid Incredible, AT&T Area, and T-Mobile G2. So it wouldn't be the first time they've won.
Yeah.
In something like this.
But I mean, I'm not really sure what's at fault here, but I mean,
I think it's more or less like similar looking stuff, maybe that's stuff that works similarly or looks similar to some of the stuff that they already have, like the patents of what they concern. Apple probably has certain features in their software which either works almost the same way or looks almost the same way. That's why they have some basis to go after.
Oh, okay. So here's the 4 patents. Jay already named one. Searching with the phone, or using a phone number to search for a web page and stuff like that. Next one is, they're saying unified text search is under their Siri patent, which I find that hard to believe.
Yeah, that is kind of.
And then their next is the unlock. I mean, I guess you guys can see my phone. It slides, but you can slide it to the left to get to your camera. You can slide it to the right to get to unlock. It's definitely
it's not the
like,
same as Apple's.
I mean, I can't believe like sliding something to unlock it is can
hold
be.
a patent for that.
I thought that was in the courts a long time ago.
Well, it was a different thing about I don't even remember.
They probably went back to that. I'm pretty sure like they can just keep going back and refiling, saying that this new one also looks exactly the same as what we have, and they can keep trying to make a case. But I'm not sure like how the last one panned out. Though this is a pretty sad attempt, I would say, for
and
this
then
one at least.
The last one is autocorrect on your keyboard when you're typing a text message.
That's so annoying. So annoying.
I mean, for me,
it'd be nicer if they
actually
It says on here that
well.
it covers whether or not the suggestions can be accepted or rejected by the user. And that's what it's dealing with.
So, I mean, I guess this seemed like pretty broad areas to
But
go into.
Back to the screen lock. I mean, if Apple wins this, what does that do to Android devices?
Well, I mean, there's multiple different.
They also have the
screen
grid.
locks. You can get the grid. You can
Right.
Get
Is this just the slide to unlock?
This is just the slide to unlock.
Okay.
But then it's because
but
like
it's
this
kind of cool because you can slide
to the
left
camera
to the camera
and
and
you
slide
have to
right
go
to
all the way
unlock.
through.
And on Apple, you can only slide.
Right.
Right, yeah. So that's kind of weird.
That's interesting. Okay, so we'll use that to segue right into your new phone then. Give us the rundown. You got the Galaxy Nexus?
I got the Galaxy Nexus. It is the only phone currently launched with Ice Cream Sandwich, which is Android 4.0. Right now, most phones have Gingerbread, which is 2.3.4. 2.4. No, it's honeycomb.
Oh yeah, that's honeycomb.
Okay.
Honeycomb, gingerbread, and ice cream sandwich.
And I think before
Thank
I was
you,
like
Sam.
froyo or something
Froyo
like
and
that.
Claire.
I don't know. I've had it for a few days. I think it's. I mean, for me, it's really nice. I don't really have a ton of experience with other Android devices, but I've used iOS because I have a iPod Touch and my girlfriend has an iPhone. So
I just brought up on the screen for the people that are going to be watching a picture of the Galaxy Nexus. So that's the phone.
it is.
that you have.
It is 4.6-inch screen, just as thick as an iPhone. So basically, it's pretty big for. It's about the biggest
It is a
kind
big
of phone
phone,
you can get. I mean, at this
That's
point,
pretty big.
there is
What about the thinness, the profile?
It is pretty thin. I mean, it's not as thin as the Droid Razr, but it is as thin as the iPhone. I guess the processor is like 1.2 gigahertz, has 1 gig of RAM, pretty standard these days. The camera isn't quite as good as, let's say, the iPhone 4S, but it's still, I mean, it's a 5 megapixel, so I mean, that's where it's lacking, basically.
So how's the actual operating system, or does it seem like? Because I remember Eric had some issues with the battery app, which showed like the battery didn't show the right amount of charge.
That's on
and
the
stuff
Droid
like
X.
that. So yeah. So what does it seem like there? Does all this stuff look more?
I mean, it seems like everything's working pretty well for me. All the apps that I've downloaded work.
No
with
issues
it.
yet.
Is it single core or double core? Dual core.
It's dual core.
Double core. Double stuffed.
Double cheater, don't make fun of it. I mean, it's pretty slick. It's there's no lag in anything.
That's quite good, because like a lot of the previous devices I have seen that they have somewhat lag, and
That's the thing. On Android devices, I've noticed, like on tablets so far, almost everything prior to probably Honeycomb had some sort of lag in it. I know my Droid X is horrible. Like, you'll hit a button and 3 seconds later it finally comes up.
I mean, the phone is basically made for the operating system which it ships. So if you upgrade your operating system, you're gonna have some problems with that. But the thing, like, this comes with Android 4.0, so it's made for Android 4.0 ice cream sandwich.
Pretty seamlessly.
It does.
it's not. Yeah, obviously it's not the same as your laptops or your desktops, where you get extra processing ability and all that stuff
Right.
beforehand.
I mean, it's
So
not like.
yeah, the phones have a limitation too, because the newer phones will obviously be not much more powerful, but they'll be a little bit more clean, I would say, compared to the older ones, and they'll be a bit more streamlined in terms of software and in terms of
Another thing is the screen is pretty amazing. 720 display on a 4.6-inch screen is pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah.
And it has, I mean, pixels per inch is about the same as an iPhone, but the screen is a lot bigger, so
It actually makes
it
sense.
seems like
Is it LED or OLED?
AMOLED.
AMOLED. Wow.
It's pretty
AMOLED.
awesome.
Wow.
Battery life isn't the greatest. I mean, it got me through. I mean, I haven't had it a long time to test it, but it got me through the day. But usually towards the end of the night, it's getting pretty low.
3G or 4G?
It's 4G LTE on Verizon.
Oh my god. That good service then around here?
It depends on where you are. Around here, it's like in my room. Sometimes I'll have it, sometimes I won't. And then
That's
if I'm,
interesting.
I mean, it just depends on, I guess, a lot of things.
When you
but
do have it, is it pretty fast?
It's pretty fast, yeah.
I'd imagine so.
So at least when you get it, then you're doing good.
Right.
That's
I
good.
mean, and most of the time you're on Wi-Fi also, so really, I mean, you're not gonna have problems downloading. And I guess if you're streaming video, then it's pretty.
What kind of ports does it have? Like, does it have any kind of special stuff?
Not really anything special. Just the port that your mini USB to plug in to charge it, but it doesn't have.
Nothing else
I don't think it
apart from
has ST slot or anything like that.
That's interesting. Like, what about the memory then? Like, what kind of onboard memory do you have right now?
It has 1 gig of RAM. Has 32 gigs of internal storage.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. I mean, if you buy an iPhone that's 32
It'll be more
gigs, it's going to be the same price as the Galaxy Nexus.
Okay.
Except
Can you change the?
I think it just comes shipped with all of them have 32.
No, I mean, can you add more memory if you want?
Is there removable memory?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not if there's a non-SD card slot.
There is an option to get an extended battery. I've looked into that lately. It comes with a 1850 milliamp hours, and you can upgrade to 2100. It gives you maybe an hour or two more, but that
works.
That definitely makes a difference towards the end of the day when you're running low. If you're
so it
using your phone a lot.
goes from like 18, 20 hours to possibly 22 hours.
Well, I mean, it's milliwatt hours. It's different. I don't know exactly if it correlates specifically to how many actual hours you're using, but that's how much power times hour. It's kind of like how they calculate your kilowatt hours, but milliwatt hours, a lot less, obviously.
Yeah.
So you want the phones to use less milliwatt hours, but at the same time have good batteries to last longer.
So I mean, overall, I love it so far. I definitely like it better than the iPhones that I've used, and the operating system is slick, and I love the.
So you had the iPad for a couple of days that time, right?
I did have the iPad for 2 weeks.
So how does
that happen?
Yeah, how does
you can rent it from the library?
Oh, really?
I just stole one.
Okay. So how was that compared to this?
I like the iPad. It was, fun to have around, but not necessarily something that I would buy.
Carry around.
That'd be. I guess we can talk about that more when Wyatt talks.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll compare that to another tablet rather than a phone.
Sounds good.
Overall, good phone.
It's a $300 phone.
With contract.
With contract. I got it.
What were you rated out of 10?
250 due to business discount.
Okay.
And it's definitely worth it. I think. In regards to the other phones that are out there, I'd say it's the best. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased because I bought it, but I'm pretty happy with it so far, and I can give you updates as.
A lot of people like.
Wait.
A lot of people like that phone. It's a really popular phone.
Wait. So what would you rate it out of 10?
Out of 10?
10?
I'd say. I can't.
Go out of 5.
Go out of 5.
I can't really give. I don't think I can give a rating yet.
4.8.
And I can't. I'd have to be able to use multiple devices to compare. I'd have to be able to use the Razer Max, and the new phones that are coming out. To be able to compare. But right now, I think it's top of the class.
Doesn't Paul have the Razer?
No,
Paul has Bionic.
Oh, Bionic. What? Do you guys know what system that's running? OS?
It's probably
still
Gingerbread. We can't have a phone off with that.
Yeah, there's not really much running ice cream sandwich yet for phones.
Yeah, really not.
So then you'll probably see maybe with the Droid 4.
It's not.
It's not there. Not surprising.
I don't think so. I can check.
I wonder why they do that though. Wouldn't they actually prepare?
Well, I'm sure
for the
they
next
develop.
update?
This is a Google phone, so Samsung and Google developed this together basically.
Yeah, that is true.
So
and it's kind of a
Samsung
brainchild for a while.
Yeah, Samsung had access to the operating system before it actually released, and these other companies have been developing these phones with the previous operating system, so they didn't have access to it. So that would be.
So since Eric's already brought this, is already ready to bring the next topic up.
We're actually gonna skip one, and we're gonna go to one more bit of news before we get into the review of the Transformer Prime, and that's Apple's supposedly going to announce the iPad 3 coming up here in the first week of March. They were going to have a press conference sometime this month in February, but they changed that, and so
I think I've heard March 7th.
March 7th? And that's what sources are saying.
That was from a post in, I can't remember, Wall Street Journal or something.
Okay. Everything traces back to allthingsd.com, which I've never even heard of before this. And I can't say how reputable this site is. It's on the screen right now, but apparently they have credible sources that claim Apple is going to announce the third iPad in March, which I think that makes sense because
It's usually the spring.
It's about a year.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's what they
Spring
usually
from
have
the
there.
previous spring.
I'm assuming it's gonna be called the iPad.
So
3.
are we gonna-
I don't know.
Are we going to talk about the iPad 3?
No, we're not. That was just an announcement. Let's get into that review of the Transformer Prime, which we have here in the studio with us, because that's so awesome. That's running. When did you get that? How long have you had it?
I have had it since about the second week of school, so about beginning of September.
And
is
that's
when I got it.
That's
Or not
running.
beginning of September, beginning of February, or
So have you
January,
It's
middle of
beginning of
January.
This semester.
This semester.
have you checked out the keyboards for it yet? Any other keyboard?
This it does have an optional keyboard dock that you can get with it for an extra $150. However, they were a little bit behind with the release on the tablet, and some pre-orders had to be canceled, and that forced the demand up a lot. So the prices are still a little bit inflated if you don't go through one of the mainstream stores like Best Buy. Like Amazon, the dock is supposed to be $150, and they're going for $250 plus on Amazon right now.
Which I don't understand at all, because doesn't Amazon usually do retail price?
Yeah.
And if you have Amazon
Amazon-
Prime,
Amazon
it goes less.
does.
But they say until stocks
there's
last, kind of issue.
the other users that are still on Amazon are pricing them through the roof.
That's just crazy.
I ended up getting. I had a pre-order through Best Buy for this on November 28th is when I pre-ordered it, and I was waiting around until January,
Oh, my.
and
that's
pre-order
great.
still hadn't been fulfilled, so then I canceled that and actually paid a little bit more to get it through Amazon to just
Just
get it.
finally get it, yeah.
And I was kind of waiting for this specific color too.
Yeah, because
I wanted the
you had-
champagne gold color
yeah.
instead of the amethyst gray, which is more purplish.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that one. That's running an ice cream sandwich then
Well,
too,
it
right?
Yeah.
ships with.
It ships with honeycomb, but it was one of the first. It was kind of, I don't want to say meant for ice cream sandwich, but it was one of the first tablets to be upgraded ice cream sandwich.
Okay. And that, I assume, runs probably just as fluidly.
Yeah, it doesn't really
Has
lag
quad
at
core
all.
processor,
Yeah,
so-
the quad core
Oh, boy,
processor.
that's impressive.
From what I've read, it doesn't really need to use all four at a
Cool.
time.
That's
So what it does is that it runs one
most of the time.
most of the time, and if it needs to step it up, it does. It actually also has a fifth companion core, which runs at about half the speed of the other four. So I'm not really sure why they call it.
Okay, this
Hey, are
is...
you going to try and max it?
4.5 core.
Yeah, it's pretty much like a 4.5.
Are you
This
going to
is-
try and max it?
I don't know what I would do to try to max it out,
Good
but
point.
like everything I've tried on it,
It would kill your battery.
I think
Your
it-
battery
it
would die before the
it
cord.
streams Netflix seamlessly, like everything.
That's good. Yeah.
Everything works great on it.
Is
so
there an option to go carrier on that, or is it just Wi-Fi?
right now it's just Wi-Fi.
Nobody's picked it up yet.
Nobody's picked it up
Okay.
yet. I heard maybe Verizon eventually, but they're also coming out with a lot of different versions of the same tablet. Like they're coming out with one a little bit that has a lot higher resolution, and then they might also be coming out with a Windows 8 version of
Well,
it
that's like-
instead of
That'd be
4.0.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Because I guess Asus is a bit more open to it.
Asus.
Asus.
This is the tablet that's backed by NVIDIA, by the way, that processor that we're talking about. It is a quad-core processor, despite
Yeah, Tegra
it's
3.
the Tegra 3 processor, yeah.
And I've always been a fan of NVIDIA, so I gotta say, I'll probably be looking forward to seeing that more.
The display is a 10.1-inch LED backlit. It's got Super IPS Plus in it with 1280 by 800 resolution and a 10-finger multi-touch. Do you have all those memorized?
From the research that I've,
10-finger multi-touch.
I don't know what I do.
Okay, let's go.
I guess I did have it lag once. It was on this app that I ordered or that I got, and it was like just like a physics-based, gravity text-based app. And if you turn like everything at max, then it had some trouble. But just doing basic stuff, it's worked awesome.
Do you have books on it for
Yep,
school?
I did all my textbooks on it this semester. I don't have anything against with the tablet. I think I prefer the physical books. I just wanted to try it out.
Yeah.
But I haven't had any issues with.
I see
having the
a lot.
books on
I
there.
see a lot more people than I expected to going around campus with tablets and using them that way.
Yeah.
I think it's becoming more popularized than buying a laptop because a lot of people probably looking forward to buying a new laptop has changed to looking forward to buying a new tablet.
I think it's still more of a supplement right now. I think if you have a tablet, I could ask anybody and they're gonna say I've got my laptop at home. More than likely.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they continue more down this path with the keyboard docks like this,
yeah, that's a big thing.
They can.
This one right
do
here.
pretty. I mean, because there's a Polaris Office app on here where you can edit Word documents and.
Because like I'm looking at the CNET review for this, and it actually has the. Hold up, yeah. It has the keyboard.
Hey.
It looks like a laptop. It looks like a laptop.
It does.
It's pretty much like a touchscreen netbook.
That's like
take the screen off.
Should we play the review for what'd they give it? They gave it
And
4
now you're
stars out of 5.
endorsing Really?
For CNET,
CNET gave it 4 out of 5 stars.
The Verge gave it 8.6, I think.
2.2.
Which is
Don't endorse it.
better than every other tablet I've seen. They never reviewed the iPad 2 because the Verge didn't exist then.
Yeah, you're a Verge fan. I'm kind of a CNET fan. Let's I completely forgot about this. We'll go ahead and play this review quick. It's just 2 minutes, so we'll see what CNET has to say about it. If I can ever play it.
What kind of battery life are you getting on that right now?
Hey guys, Eric Franklin here from CNET, and today we're taking a first look at the ASUS Transformer Prime, the follow-up to the ASUS Transformer released in early 2011. Right away, we notice the Prime is not only thinner than its predecessor, but since it's also thinner than both the iPad 2 and Samsung Galaxy Tab 10.1, it becomes the thinnest tablet yet. However, it is slightly heavier than both of the aforementioned tablets. The Transformer Prime takes some design cues from the iPad 2 with a sloped aluminum backside and well-rounded corners that don't dig into your palms as the previous Transformer did. Also, while the backside does a good job of resisting fingerprints, the glossy screen and bezel succumbs to them easily. There's a 1.2 megapixel camera on the front with an 8 megapixel camera on the back, which records 1080p video. Like with the previous Transformer, the Prime can connect to a keyboard/dock, transforming it into an Android laptop. With the previous Transformer, making that connection wasn't the easiest thing in the world to do, but the process improved dramatically on the Prime as it now easily slides into the slot. It is a bit top-heavy when connected, though. The $150 dock is compatible only with the Prime and vice versa. The dock includes a trackpad, a data/power connection, full-size SD slot, and a USB port. The Prime is the first tablet to house NVIDIA's new quad-core CPU, the Teir3. As a result, transitions when navigating are much smoother, and games like Riptide GP take advantage of the 4 cores by adding graphical effects like splashes on the screen, something you don't see in other versions of the game. You can also connect the tablet to an HD TV or monitor and play games via supported gamepads. 1080p video playback is both smooth and crisp, supported by a high-quality IPS screen that delivers pretty wide viewing angles. The CPU can run at its full normal speed or can be easily throttled to a balance mode or power saver mode through an ASUS custom interface. ASUS also adds a Super IPS Plus mode, which boosts the brightness, making reading in sunlight a bit easier. The Prime is available at $500 for the 32GB version and $600 for the 64GB version. The keyboard/dock checks in at $150. Check out the full review for more detailed info. Once again, this is Eric Franklin, and this has been a first look at the ASUS Transformer Prime.
Alright, so that's the Transformer Prime review by CNET. They were talking about the viewing angle on that too. That was pretty impressive.
78 degrees.
Yeah.
And it's pretly legitimate.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Look at it.
Testing that out.
It's only 170 then, is it?
It's skinnier than the
But like,
iPad 2,
why do you need it to be like?
I mean, like if you were watching
doesn't-
something on Netflix, like with multiple people around
Does it
it.
leave smudges? Like the iPad.
Yeah,
is
how about
so
Yeah,
much of
smudges?
that.
it fingerprints fairly easily. It comes with a really good cleaning cloth though. So
Well, there you go. Apple.
Yeah,
That's one
kinda.
thing I like about Apple, though. Just to digress, their cleaning cloths are superb. They get all the fingerprints. Yeah, as long as you can wipe them off, and it comes with the cloth,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah,
it's
makes
a
a difference.
Gorilla Glass too. So
Is it really? That's
We gotta
showing
do
up
the
in more and
test.
more
We gotta
products.
do
Yeah,
the
now we have to drop it. Let's see how far we
I'll
can
get
drop
my
this.
keys.
That stuff
Yeah.
isn't supposed to scratch with keys,
No,
is
it's
it?
not. I
No.
mean, you can see people on YouTube do it because.
Do it to their phones. Yeah.
I mean, if you really want to try to scratch something up that bad, you could probably find a way. But
Yeah.
you
Hammer.
can withstand.
Okay.
And they were talking about the video cameras on it too. The back one, I think, is 8 megapixel, 1080p. Have you shot anything with that
I
yet?
haven't really done anything with video yet, but you
I shot a video
can do
in
panoramic
1080p.
shots too.
Oh, that's pretty good.
And then gaming on it, they were showing that a bit too on the review. Anything there?
I haven't purchased any of the apps meant to use the quad core, but
Though, like, okay,
Most everything else fine.
I was just talking a little bit about gaming tablets possibly in the future, but I'm not really talking about high-end tablets yet because you can possibly expect something maybe a couple of years down the road, but at this point it seems like they're getting really nice, and I saw the video too. It's still pretty good compared to what like I would imagine up to a large extent. Like I believe on the iPod a little while ago I played, or like on the iPad I played this Dead Space game, which was pretty disappointing. So with this, I think it would be much nicer to see something that would actually look like legitimate games.
So, what do you think about the iPad 3 coming out?
I don't know.
Is it going to be better?
I honestly don't know.
I think
I'm
the
not a
A6
huge Apple fan.
the A6 processor is, I guess, might have quad core, but they're saying it's probably going to be dual core.
Still, that's crazy.
That is
really.
disappointing.
I
yeah.
figured they would probably up it to quad core.
I thought that would be
But,
quad core by now.
what was the-
A6 is what they're on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the
A5 was the last one.
the iPhone even has the
if you
A5
know,
in it.
it runs pretty good still, I guess, but
I mean, really.
It doesn't take as much to run Apple's operating system though either.
Yeah, probably, and
That's
then
true.
also, I guess, for battery life and stuff like that, they might be looking into it.
well,
Yeah.
if they could go into video editing, because that's a lot what usually Macs are pretty good at, doing video editing and stuff like that. So if they would go for multi-cores for that, it would be pretty awesome to see legitimate video editing software on the iPad, so that people could actually do that. That would actually be pretty good if they get like quad core.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's necessary. Like,
I don't.
there's plenty of computers that don't even have
Yeah,
quad core processors.
It's-
I honestly don't
true.
know why you would need to use all 4 cores.
No,
but
it's not really video editing. Only it's like something with video can be made much more impressive because it's a bit different. It's like some stuff that I've seen, graphic design and all that.
Photoshop
actually
needs
uses
quad core to run.
No, but
Photoshop uses a lot.
it does though. That's the thing. It doesn't need quad core, but it could use quad core to
Like,
be
I
the
think-
most efficient.
I think dual core would have been fine, but quad core just has the ability to put some things over the top. when
That's
it
what.
comes to-
That's the idea. Like even. Do you say desktops nowadays don't need? Oh, not desktop. Like in general, regular computers don't really need to use quad core either to do that. But regular computers have a lot more factors in there, which actually change the entire thing a lot.
Well, and quad core isn't going to be around for too long. We were talking today in one of my classes, AMD, one of their guys came not too long ago, one of the coders and designers from AMD says we actually need to be training kids, programmers, how to code for 168 core processors instead
And
of
I've
just this
already-
quad core stuff because they think that's going to take off. You know, in the next few years, we're going to start seeing
Well,
that.
the truth is actually
168 cores.
we are
But
talking
why?
about.
But why?
Okay, seriously, we're actually talking about that in classes now too. We are talking a lot more about multi-threading and how to program for that, so that it can program like regardless of how many cores you have, it can send out all the information to multiple ones, and does not need to be dependent on the number of cores.
That means they need to reinvent programming in general.
No,
because
no, it doesn't.
No, well, I
actually.
mean, like a web page. If you have one web page, you can basically only run one core per page that you're viewing because JavaScript only runs.
It's
you
no.
can
That's
only
the
use one
thing.
core at a
Have you heard of
time.
C#?
Yes.
That actually has the ability to do more.
But how many web pages use C#? Like, can you?
No, they don't. They don't. Oh, gosh. You don't get the idea. It's like not the web pages going that way. I'm saying every programming languages has some pre-built ability to do these kind of things. It was already in the minds of the inventors before the entire multi-threading and dual-core, multi-core architecture went into the general public. These people knew that this thing was a future. They're already prepared more or less for it. So all languages have some kind of an ability to do so.
Not all.
Almost all. I can't say Cobalt has, because that's like ancient.
Okay, but I mean, I'm just thinking about how, you can run individual cores on individual tabs now in Chrome, but to make something, I don't know, I guess for applications such as...
Well, actually, that would be good for you. It's 168 cores.
Yeah, so I can have 168 different tabs open.
Yeah.
But, you're still going to be, I don't know. I just think the internet may need to change a little bit from... with 168 cores, there's so much more you can do, right?
Trust me. I understand. Trust me, there's a lot of stuff that's already being done. The thing is, what they mean by programmers need to learn how to do this is they need to further understand and improve it. It exists, but it's not at all good. Like, a lot of situations are like that.
Invent new programming languages. There's no programming language that was meant for 168 cores.
New programming languages arise almost every day. Have you ever heard of Chef?
Chef?
Exactly. It's like, well, it's just a random language created by somebody, but it actually
random.
But it makes it's just randomly created by somebody. That means it actually makes sense when somebody puts it in. It's actually got stuff like instructions like eggs and all that, which you use those as variables. Eggs. It's different. It's very different. It is like a chef thing. Yeah, it is actually like you're cooking.
That's how they did Python.
How many viewers have we lost during this conversation? That's what I want to know.
I don't know.
Technology podcast. This is what you come for.
It is.
Yeah, so the basic idea, what I'm saying, is that every day new languages come, so don't be too surprised.
Okay.
We've been while this is going on, I've just been showing a video of the Asus Transformer Prime in the background. Just kind of watching it go over from The Verge.
So nice
just showing it how fluid everything is on it and running. And it's only quad core, so I'd say if I was going to get a tablet, this would probably be the one I would pick up.
Yeah.
But the iPad 3 is going to have LTE.
Big freaking
Big deal.
Says the Transformer Prime owner.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see. That'll be a keynote. I hope they stream that over the web.
They will. Well, they'll probably at least have live updates and stuff.
Live updates, yeah. Yeah, they kind of keep their keynotes video people out of them, don't they? They do live, I'm sure The Verge will have one and whatever.
They have a live blog.
Yeah, live blogs, that's what thank you.
I remember last time we actually kept up with that the entire time the i4S came out, because we wanted to talk about that in the podcast. So
they kind of keep video guys out of it, though. They don't live stream video.
But that's kind of sad. They should actually allow the video things we can see in real action, and I'm pretty sure that would get people to be much more excited than just like watching updates.
Alright, well, I think that's fucking gonna do it.
Alright.
So you like the tablet then?
So what would you rate that?
What would you rate it out of
5?
Out of 5.
7.5.
Towards the upper end, definitely. 4 point something.
3.
4.4, 4.5.
Probably.
Well, it's either 4
Okay.
or 5,
Well,
or 3, or 2, or 1.
Yeah.
Pick one. Is it more towards 80% or more towards 100%? Is there
For me, more towards 100%. I haven't.
You haven't run across anything that
run
can't.
across anything that would really keep me from.
Okay.
I'm not a super hardcore reviewer though either. So.
Well, I appreciate you bringing it on the show to review.
Yeah. We all do.
Thank you, Jay.
Especially Jay. Jay
Yep.
appreciates it.
Alright, I think that's going to about do it for this week, though. Special thanks to Wyatt for coming in and reviewing that. Until next time, we will be live here Tuesday night at 8 o'clock next week. Until then, that's going to about do it. On KVN on 90.7 HD-2, Mav Radio. Until next time, see you guys later.